Welcome back to the media room. We're back today with not just myself and Sam, as you all may be used to. We're also joined by another media volunteer at Newport City, Keiron. Good to have you here, Keiron. But Sam, it was. I want to start off, and I want to get this out the way first, my friend. Caldicott Town 3-1 on Tuesday. You've had time to look back and analyze. What have you taken from that game, and what will happen going forward?
Taking a lot of disappointment. It's nice and easy talking to you when we're on a win, and I say it's the best feeling, and everything's great. And we've had two really good wins at the start of the season, so you know, don't shy away from the fact that when we get beaten I say beat, the way we did get beat was disappointing. Obviously, 3-0 at half time, they absolutely battered us. Like I said after the game, due with regards to that long direct ball is what Caldicott do well at their place. It's why they don't lose many games there. So it's not for me. It's not a surprise that we didn't necessarily win there because I didn't go into the game expecting an easy game at all. Anyway, it was one of the fixtures straight away that I thought to myself, this could be challenging. Let alone we got three games against them in 2 weeks up at their place. So yeah, disappointed, massively disappointed, but more in the way in which we lost the game. That was what disappointed me the most.
Definitely, and obviously, one positive I suppose we can take from the game is Greeny's goal. Got in at the right place at the right time. Sort of. How important would it be for him to have got his first goal and now can kick on and hopefully score a bucket load?
Yeah, look, he's the first to admit he needs that sharpness. He needs more game time, and it's coming. And he's been doing really well in training. And for me, it's not necessarily the goals that are just important. We want our number 9 scores. We do all of our attacking players, but for me, it's the fact of he's a handful. He wins his flick-ons. He does all the dirty work that not a lot of other players will do at this level. And what he's bringing to the team is more than just like, yeah, it's great, he got a goal, but it's more than just the goal. So for me, it's the boys learning off him as well, and it's him learning how we play as well. It's not all just about Greeny. It's about how he needs to see the players around him and what they're doing and what they're offering because we've got fantastic players. So yeah, even off the back of that loss, it was great to see him get the goal, but everything else he did through the game as well was pleasing for me. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's good to see. And of course, Ishi got man of the match. It's not often you see a centre back get man of the match in a 3-1 defeat for the club, but it shows how good he was against them. How important is it that these your defenders, especially with so many new players, can gel quickly and have performances like Ishi did?
Yeah, and for me, it's like we've had two clean sheets beforehand, and the defenders deserve that praise. Now, obviously, when you can see three goals like that, and for a defender to get man of the match, for me, I'm thinking kind of like it does sound strange from or looking from the outside in, but the boys voted for that for him because they could see his commitment and everything he did, and how he didn't give up and going into the second half, even when we moved him in centre midfield, then. How he kind of affected that change for us to get us a bit more on top and get a bit more of a grip on the game, winning the first and second balls in that second half. So, look, there wasn't many good performances all around. So, in terms of him getting it, I think it was just the boys' appreciation for the fact of how hard he worked throughout the whole game. Really, that was why I think he got man of the match. To be honest.
Yeah, so we'll move on away from Caldicott and just a quick sort of brief housekeeping for us. So we've had two players leave this week, in JJ and Cash. Sam, just if you can give us a brief comment on that, and yeah, it's always disappointing to lose players. You get to know players as people. So yeah, what were your thoughts, and yeah,
Yeah,
basically that.
it's disappointing. We don't want to lose anyone, but when I know I'm signing 34 players on, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
JJ to the Buds, disappointing one in there. Can't understand it myself in terms of why a player would move so quickly who's been playing, but it is what it is. And Cashman, really disappointed with Cashman in the sense of he was great for us last season. He is a good lad. He is a good player, but for me, there's an ethos around the club this year that we're trying to stick to, and it just didn't work for both of us. But wish him all the best, and for what he did last year as well for us, wish him all the best wherever he ends up this season.
Right, so Keiron is now going to take us through the Risca game, which is coming up tomorrow, today when you'll be watching this. So I'll pass over to you, Keiron.
I suppose the opening obvious question is following the games that have been played previously against Risca and the very good season they had last. What are your expectations going into this game?
Well, based on last season, touch on last season, they were outstanding. I've got a lot of respect for them as a club, for Bezo as a manager. They got some fantastic players, and I was really disappointed to see them not go up. I felt as a club they, I said they deserved it. So so did Bagland Dragons. There's nothing against them, but for me, seeing on our side, I really supported them and wanted to see them go up, to show the strength of the East side as well. But the expectations for me are just, when we're there, can we get a performance in off the back of a poor performance? Can we look to compete against a team that would be right up in the mix, who picked up a fantastic 4-0 midweek? And yeah, my expectations are all about us. Can we go there and put in a performance, whatever the result may be at the end of it? Can we get a performance out of it that we're proud of? Whereas on Tuesday, we weren't proud of our performance one bit.
I mean, yeah, I suppose that is entirely checks out. So I think one of the things I also want to mention is in 2 out of the 3 games, we've kept clean sheets. The opening game of the season in terms of cup, and then the opening game of the actual league. Is the defense something that you've been working on in training to kind of gel after conceding 3 goals last time out?
Well, we haven't had time because of the turnaround, but through pre-season, we worked on a lot of things. We had the ball out all the way through pre-season. We've always worked on that in terms of working on shape as well. So it's something we've definitely worked on. But credit goes to the boys at the moment, because the turnaround is next to nothing. We don't have time to train. So therefore, we've just got to kind of pick our heads up, get back on with it, sort out basic tactics, nothing too much. But the back line, I know I don't need to really speak to them too much. The disappointment from the goals they conceded the other night is clear. They know what kind of caused those goals or those mistakes, so we can rectify that. But we don't just defend as a back four, it's the whole team. The whole team's got to work together now to make sure that we work hard for that clean sheet. And if we don't get a clean sheet, then we just need to score more goals than them. It's as simple as that.
I mean, yeah, so long as you pull out a result, I'm sure that's all you can really hope for. In terms of a selection, lineup-wise, I know that we had a few situations where we couldn't pick players for our last game. Have those kind of picks been switched now? Are they able to go into this game, or is it kind of a similar situation?
Well, it's similar. Obviously, we've lost 2 players I wasn't expecting to lose, so that's made a few changes to the squad. We've got Billy back, which is great. It's great to have him back at the club. So we've got him back available tomorrow as well. He'll be a huge lift for us. We've got then different players missing now, so we've got a couple that are away. So yeah, I think we've got 2 or 3 places in the squad that have been taken up by those that can come in, and that's the benefit of having such a large squad, which is really good. We've got a few left out that will be disappointed, and I don't blame them one bit. But yeah, all in all, we've made a few changes here and there, and we've got a few plans to change it, but we're still a bit of time away. Some changes can still happen between now and then.
The under 19s I want to talk about, because we'll have a video going out with Nat. So obviously it's newly set up this season, the under 19s. Nat was down the other night. The squad has played just several preseason friendlies. How important is it to have that youth and academy set up ready, and in the infrastructure of the football club now we move into a new era?
It's really important. It's everything the club needs to achieve its goals in the long term. For me, having the 19s is important, because I need those players to be pushing for first team football. I need lads who are the next generation to come through. I want local boys, lads from South Wales coming through to play the football. I want it to be at Newport City. Every year, this pre-season's been hard for me, as in going out, finding players, talking to them. I'd rather have 19s that can come through. I'd have to sign as many as 17, 18 players, where I've got young lads who are coming through to be that whole generation of next Welsh League football. This is what we want. We want the pathway. It's everything and Mike's coming in to really give a push for. And for me, we've only got to look at Risca, who we're coming up against now, of how good their academy setup's been and where that club's gone. I played for them years ago now, and they never had this. So to have that, it shows if you've got a good setup, a good academy, good 19s, good youth, it really kicks the first team on. And that's what we want. So for everything for the 19s now, I'm fully behind that, and the squad that's being built at the moment is great.
Sam, thank you very much. Keiron, thank you very much too. And we will be back post Risca and moving on to our next game after that. So yeah, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 150, so that's the next goal. But we'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.
Cheers.